Hi ladies, I miss you guys, and it's great to see all of your little sewing uh, challenges to yourself on Facebook. Uh, I've done my job if you're all sewing at home, even in these times. So, upon your request, yes, I am going to do a second sewing video, and this one's a fun one and seasonal. We are going to make this. It's an Easter egg. Woo! It's really easy to make and it's kind of fun, and unfortunately it's not edible, but it's a lot of fun to make. So this was inspired by one of my Canadian sisters who's on Facebook. Her name is Laura, and she has So Very Easy, I think is her YouTube channel. I really like her. She's explains things in nice detail, and she came up with this one. The pattern that she used is this one. Unfortunately, you can't see it because I'm running out of printer ink, but it is from All of Us Girls Incorporated. Website is www.olive, like the fruit, usgirls.com. So hopefully you can see. There we are. And if that's backwards, I'm sorry. I don't know how to do this thing. I'm learning. So supplies, you're going to need the pattern. And if you go to So Very Easy, Laura's YouTube channel, you can go right to this pattern, or you can go to their website. So you're going to need the pattern or a shape that is leaf-like, little big on the bottom. Let me get my fat finger out of the way. So this is the little pattern, and it is about, again, get my fat fingers out of the way. What is that, about 5 inches? 4.5 inches. Okay, so you're going to need the pattern. You are going to need fabric, and this is a remnant. You can see how big my fabric is, just a small little piece. Of course, it has to be yellow because that's my color. And I'm folding it in fours, okay? And my pattern is going to fit onto it right like that. You're going to need some scissors, pins, and a needle with thread. And I'm going to stick that back over there where I know where it is. And let's get to it. I'm going to readjust. Well, I don't know that I have to do that. So I'm pinning the pattern onto the fabric. And this does not need grain line because you have a lot of bias cut edges. So we're going to cut this out. And yes, I'm shattering a bunch of rules by cutting this out, by not leaving it laying down on the table. Cut, 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 cut. Sing amongst yourselves. And you have the luxury of cutting this out this way because it is a small piece. And yeah, and there it is. So you're going to find your right sides of the two pieces, right sides together. That was a right and wrong side together. Right sides together. And pin it. Nose itches. Oh, I forgot. Speaking of nose itches, you're going to need fiberfill. I'm going to pin these both. I'm just doing it at the top and the bottom. Again, right sides together. I had wrong sides together there. And pinning these two together. Did I say you needed pins? You need pins. And we're going to be ready to sew. So we're going to reintroduce you to Diamond. And we are going to, oh boy, I need max headroom. Does anybody know that reference? Excuse the jerkiness of the camera, but I'm going to reposition it over here to the sewing machine so you can see what I'm doing. Hopefully, can we see anything? Whoa! Okay, so I'm going to sew from this top edge here. Let me get my pen. I'm going to sew from here from this edge, whoops, sew it from this edge here all the way around to this edge here. And I should be using a contrasting thread. You're going to need a 1/4 inch seam allowance. I've got my 1/4 inch foot on here to get me started. You're going to back stitch, starting off with a back stitch. And sew all the way around. If you have the luxury of a needle down position, that's another nice thing to have. If not, try to, when you're moving this around, leave the needle in the needle down position. Back stitch at the end and cut your threads. So again, hopefully you can see. Can you see where I stitched? It's kind of hard with the, see where my threads come out? That's where you want to be on the ends. Okay, see how the thread's coming out? Okay, we're on to the second one. And this time we are going to leave an opening so we can birth the egg. Back stitch. Stitch around, and I'm going to stop, back stitch, cut my threads, and I'm going to move down about 1 inch. And I'm going to start sewing again, back stitch. And I'm going around the bottom of the egg now. Back stitch, cut your thread. And I'm going to trim my threads and let you know how much I really miss you guys. And I'm hoping that everybody is faring well during our hunkering down, our social distancing, our shelter at home. And see, this is where my opening is. Back to this sewing. This is where my opening is. Whoops. Right here. And I'm going to trim those threads up. Now, I'm going to kind of finger press this. You don't need your iron for this. Just going to kind of finger press both pieces. And I'm going to let you learn a quilter's term, and that's called nesting the seams. So I'm folding this side, this seam to one side, and this is the bottom. Make sure that you're putting your bottoms together. And I'm going to nest this seam in the opposite direction. So we got right sides together, and I've got one seam going that way and the other seam going this way. So and the term is nesting the seam. So hopefully you could see down that way, down that way. Pop a pin in. Some of my big ones. And I'm going to do the same thing. And, oops, I pinned too much of it. There we go. And on this side, I'm going to make sure that this seam is going to be going in the same direction as this one. So it's folded on this side to the right. So I'm going to fold this one to the right, and this bottom one, I'm going to fold that one to the left, just like it is on that underside. And all of you know I'm kind of a little crazy anal. It's not that important that you nest these. It's important that you're having fun. So now I'm going to sew all the way around, and I'm going to start in the middle. Back stitch. And I'm stitching all the way around, and my fat hand is in the way. I lost my pin. Make sure that those seams are nesting. And we're back there. Yeah, I'm going to get that to lay flat there. There we go. I'm making sure the edges are all, edges are meeting. Again, see that how that needle, all kinds of bells and whistles are going off. That needle down is helping a lot. And I'm just about all the way around. Back stitch. And we're almost done with the well, we're done with the sewing part. Almost done. Got a hand. I'm going to clip the threads. And let's birth the egg. I've got to find my opening. Somewhere in here there is an opening. It's going to be so cute. Here we go. It's coming. And again, I'm just using my finger to press those edges open. And you can see it's almost there. I'm going to go back to my cutting table, and I'll see you over there. It's so crude, my little setup here. Okay, so, ooh, I like that bright yellow against that blue shirt. Columbus Marathon, peoples. That's the shirt I'm wearing. Now, I'm going to stuff the egg. And hopefully you left a 1-inch opening. I got a little crazy on the previous eggs that I made, that I didn't have quite the opening that I should have. Oops. If you do not have fiberfill, which is what this is, I have a lot of it because I like to do self-sculpture. I like to make toys and stuff, and I do it with the kids. You can use cotton balls, unless there's a run on cotton balls. We're not going to use toilet paper because we know there's a run on toilet paper. If you have the fiberfill, you can wash the eggs if you want. I don't really see the need of washing these eggs. And just let me tell you one thing. I have my kids make balls, and some of you have seen them in the art room. They are 6-sided, and they do a wonderful job of making them and playing with them afterwards. If you have a cat, you got a cat toy? Get that rest of that in there. I kind of shape as I go. My cat's probably wondering who I'm talking to. And I don't know if Dex will play with this, but so you'll have a, oh, can you see it? You have an opening like that. And you're going to take your needle and thread, tie a knot in the end. I don't know how I can do this where you can see it. I start with the needle going on the inside. Okay, that wasn't supposed to happen. Start with the needle going on the inside. And then we're going to just do a simple whip stitch. And that is, I push it together. Get that stuffing in there. I hold these together. And I'm going to go in one side, out the other. And just do a very simple whip stitch. Hopefully you can see this. It's a little awkward making videos because in order for the camera to see, I have to contort my body to where you can see. Okay, not quite as pretty as I like it. So your last stitch, I'm going to take just a small one. I kind of like that opening right there. I'm going to go right in there. I'm going to leave a loop, go through it twice, and knot it off. Then to finish it off, I'm going to go right into where the seam was and come out anywhere you want to in the egg and pop that knot in. And then cut it off. And it disappears right in there. Just drop the pin. Reshape it. It looks like the eggs that I cook. So here are my eggs. So hopefully that was fun. This was a 15-minute tutorial of eggs. So again, I miss all you ladies. Hopefully you'll have some time before this Sunday to make some Easter eggs. Happy Easter to everybody. God's blessings. I hope to see you on the other end of this. Please stay well. Protect yourself. Protect your families. Be safe. Love y'all. Bye.